Men, what things do you enjoy that are typically considered girly? Pedicures for sure. My girlfriend took me and it was amazing. The fact that this is so far down means not enough guys have had a mani and a pedi. It's really relaxing. Feels great. And your hands and feet feel awesome for weeks. My youngest daughter asked me to go with her because she wanted to get them, but her mom wouldn't take her. I was a bit nervous going the first couple of times. After that, I was like, hey, isn't it time for you to get your nails done? I'll take if you want. I'm a straight guy with no artistic talents whatsoever. I love musicals. I really love pore strips. My job can get greasy, and sometimes I'm working on a boat for weeks at a time, where I get covered in grease and rust on a daily basis. The most satisfying feeling was using a pore strip the day I got back. It was absolutely heavenly. My only plight is that I can never find them advertised for men, but the lady on the box always has great skin, so I don't mind. I got a list. I love to cook, bake, sew and knit. Pretty much every Sunday my daughters and I make muffins from scratch. I have made a few shirts and knitted several hats, scarves, gloves and slippers. More than a few times when I've done some knitting out in public, I've gotten some pretty crazy comments. I enjoy it, and I feel good when I can give someone a very personal gift. Probably my musical tastes. I like the movie Little Shop of Horrors, and also stuff like Gilbert and Sullivan. I've gotten for listening to Elton John and David Bowie before, although I also like a lot of more manly music. Elsewhere in the country, I might not stand out, but I live in the South. Sing along to female lead vocals in music. The majority of music I listen to right now is female lead. Damn straight I'm singing about the guys that broke their hearts. Every time I go out drinking I get the girly cocktails while everyone else gets the super wheaty IPAs and whiskey on the rocks. I'm out to enjoy myself, not to burn my esophagus trying to prove my manliness. I don't judge guys that get fruity or sweet or the more typical girly drinks on a night on the piss. They taste good, but after one they make my stomach hurt while I can drink whiskey all night and only pay for it the next day. You know, now that age is hitting me, I completely see what you mean. All the sugar in these drinks is giving me the worst hangovers. Try a whiskey soda, or a non-IPA beer. There are craft beers out there called sours or goes are that are super tasty. Even a plain wheat beer you can order with a slice if orange and put it in. Chocolate stout and coffee porter are also really good beers. Word of caution that you might end up with something that has a bit of that IPA bitterness in it anyways. But a good bartender will know what you mean. Not saying you can't order girly drinks, but if you're worried about sugar intake, these are options. I use face masks and use skin treatment for my pores. I braid my hair when alone, and if I have time I can make all the basic braids. Pigtails, French, Dutch, milkmaid, crown braids and so on. I know how to weave ribbons through my braids, flowers and other decorations. I braid my girlfriend's hair and her friends, they think it is amazing. I don't think anyone has any idea I practice on myself. I'd really like to wear one of those German-style dresses and have long braids. But that's another story. My wife and I wear the same size clothes. If she buys a pair of pants that I think I can pull off and that actually has pockets, you're goddamn right I'll wear 'em. I have an immense amount of respect for this post. Fluffy pastel pillows and robes. Couples mani pedis are awesome. Panties are also quite comfortable just lounging around. Sometimes a silk nightie if the wife wants. Give a about my clothes matching. Sometimes I'll see something in a store and say something like, this would look great with my green shoes. My brother says something like, that's so gay. Whatever. Cargo shorts and Walmart t-shirt looking at. I'm terrible with matching colors. But I've got the past 5 years wearing black everything. Now that I'm slowly moving out of that, I have no clue what matches. So I ask one of my friends and she tells me whether it goes or not. I'm not really out there with different things yet. But it's nice knowing I have an outfit that matches instead of me throwing together and saying whatever. Matching your clothes is great. I wear my towel round my tits when I get out the shower. I cross my legs when I sit. Fight me. Hey, I do too. Wasn't aware it's a girly thing. Actually, it's comfortable. My favorite color is purple. I never understood this being girly. Historically, purple and pink have always been masculine colors. It's only very recently, as far as I can see, that they have somehow swapped to being connected with girls. Cross-stitching. It sounds super stupid and something that old ladies do. I was an intern at my church and we were putting on a craft camp for kids. I had to learn how to cross-stitch in order to teach kids how to do it. It ended up being so much fun. I have made all kids of Star Wars and comic book characters as well decorations. Girly shampoo and conditioner are so much better than men's. Especially if you have a manly mane. It's like men's shampoo is specifically designed to turn your hair into tow. Soaps. Fancy soaps from the fancy soap store. Regular soap is just after that. Shopping for clothes. I love getting new things to wear. Yesterday myself and my fiancé went clothes shopping for our honeymoon. At the first shop, Misa asked me if I wanted to head to menswear while she gets her stuff and we meet at a designated time. I suggested we stick together and help each other pick clothes. Neither of us are big shoppers, so we were estimating maybe 3 hours if we zip around. It was a big shopping center with loads of shops. It turned into an epic 7-hour shop. I thought I would hate it, but instead really enjoyed it. Both of us ended up with clothes we both love and it was a really nice experience. I wear aprons that were my grandmother's when cooking. They make me think of her standing at the stove, preparing her excellent dinners. I don't care if they're for ladies, one of them even has honeybees and sunflowers. Aprons are like a jersey for cooking. When you put one on, it's game time, baby. Drinking out of my sexy goblet. It's covered in hot pink glitter and sequins, but I love it. I like to sew and crochet. I love Bath and Body Works. Those 3 wick candles, baby. This is literally how you can tell if a guy has ever lived with a woman for any considerable length of time. At first it's like, okay, sure, I'll light a candle while we watch this documentary. And then it's like, I'm going to play some League of Legends, but first let me light this wood wick candle. I've got 2 stuffed animals. They travel with me in my work backpack. I obviously don't run around showing them off, and they sleep in my bed. I'm 26. My husband has a stuffed dog his grandma gave him when he was 6. When we're lying in bed, he likes to hold it and he'll put it next to the pillows for decoration when we make the bed. One time we took a trip for Memorial Day and as a surprise I took it with us. When he pulled his pajamas out of the bag, he grinned and just sat with it on the hotel bed while we watched the Fast and Furious on TV. When I first met him, I thought it was weird, but now there's something about a 28-year-old man who likes his stuffed dog that I find incredibly cute. Baths. I play hours of volleyball at a time and that wears down my entire body completely. Every time after volleyball I take a nice warm bath with a Gatorade by my side and it is the most soothing and relaxing thing. Man, if I could find a tub big enough, I'd love a good soak some days. I like going to small towns that are big on wineries and artsy crap. I enjoy wine and walking around looking at stuff in shops. That more makes you French than girly. Romantic TV shows and movies. I just like the feeling when 2 people are happy together. Okay? I take a nice long bath with bubbles and wine, sometimes champagne to relax. Usually about 1 to 2 times a year. I can see why girls are always having baths with bath bombs, candles, and wine. Maybe a book. It's very relaxing. I see it as a girly thing, but I ain't got no shame about it. I mean, I'm even a stereotypical bro, and I love my baths seriously. My name's Kyle. I drink Monster Energy. I ride dirt bikes. The thing with baths as a girly thing is that women's preference for baths is just pure biology. The difference between male and female physiology leads to women being much more likely to enjoy baths than men, because women are much more like to fit in the damn bathtub. It's really sad that many men are mentioning cooking, baking girly when there are a lot of top chefs, cooks, bakers, etc. And knowing how to cook a few recipes is a very basic thing every adult should know how to do. I'm sorry that you guys have been told that it's not a valid skill for men to have. Have feelings that I am comfortable acknowledging and sharing, as well as verbally expressing concern for my male friends. Often I hear "don't be a pussy" from my friends and male coworkers that I socialize with when I bring up feelings in any context. I'm not kidding, the majority men of my generation are not comfortable with their emotions or sharing their emotions thanks to being socialized away from them. It's a leading cause of middle-aged men becoming lonely, having no idea on how to address it, and then committing picking and arranging flowers. It's beautiful out there right now. Shaving my legs. Sometimes I shave my arms too. I just love how smooth my legs feel afterwards. I love makeup stores. The colors, the textures, the variety, the smell, everything. One rule though, you keep that shit away from my face. I can't stand the feel of lotions or anything on my face. Only sunscreen because that's a necessity. So it's maybe not fully girly, but I'm sure I get looks shopping for makeup alongside my sew. I want to thank all these guys for sharing. Please teach your kids it's not unmanly to take up these hobbies or have these small pleasures. Keep on being awesome. When my wife is out of town, and I have the night to myself, I will oftentimes take a long hot bath, maybe even with bubbles, use my wife's nice skincare products afterward, put on my bathrobe, and have a nice herbal tea while I watch old movies. My wife doesn't know I do this. I can't wait until the day my wife returns unexpectedly to find her husband spa-dayed the out. Just chillin'. Listening to Lana Del Rey at the gym. She's glorious.